Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our next session with Adriana Viola Miranda. So, yes, Jonas, can you show up the slides? Great. Thank you, Jonas. So, Adriana Viola Miranda will share about Hackathon. So, the session will be about the future of healthcare, why Hackathon, and how I won MIT COVID-19 challenge. So, Adriana is a fourth-year medical student at University of Indonesia and Cipto Mangunkusumo Hospital, Jakarta. So she attended her first hackathon in last April and went on to win on in her 10th attempt MIT COVID-19 challenge. So she believes that digital health in the future of healthcare and strives to translate her passion in medical research and information technology to improve healthcare systems across the world. Okay, we just start. Adriana, are you ready? Okay, great. So
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great.
Okay, great. Time is yours.
So while you're preparing, I just want to tell you something. When I come across I'm friends with Adriana because I met her in Nepal EMSC in 2018. So I was in the same group with Adriana, and I'm her friend in Facebook. So one day I actually read her Facebook entry, and she was saying appreciating failure. And she said that I know that it's easy to say, but it's hard to do. In 3 months, this is what she says. I failed 9 times of failure in hackathon. And there's so many others failure. And she put a picture whereby she is in some of the events that she joined that she failed. Am I tired? Yes, I am tired. Very tired. Before I went for MIT COVID-19 challenge, Latin America vs COVID-19, I was very, very down. And I was so eager to know how to win, but my heart is in pain if I fail again. And my family and my boyfriend cheer me up, and I went again. And then after that, she actually did win the MIT COVID-19 challenge. So I approached her and said that we really want to hear your story because you are a student and students will hear to other friends. So she's a true AMSAR at heart, and I really, really love to share her story. And now she's here to share with you personally her story. So welcome to Adriana.
Dr. Debbie, and thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, so by asking, when you hear what do you think about robots? Or do you think the saying that artificial will as the front? What if I tell you already happening? I will present a bit about digital health and then share my experience about hackathons. Next slide, please. Okay, so before this is my profile. I'm a fourth-year medical student in University of Indonesia. I was a member of AMSA for 3 years, and I've been on several events held by AMSA, including AMSA 2018 in Nepal. And also, I was a part of JAMSA. My experience in AMSA have always helped me when I need to be an international stage, including during my first time attending a hackathon last April, which was the MIT COVID-19 challenge, Beat the Pandemic 2. Since then, I have attended 12 hackathons. Yeah, and I only won my first hackathon during my 10th attempt. But during my journey, I have co-founded my two startups named Deploy Smart and Amigo. And Amigo is the one which won the MIT COVID-19 challenge, Latin America versus COVID-19. You can contact me at Instagram and also LinkedIn. Next, please. Yeah, so I will start by explaining a bit about digital health. So digital health is, by definition, an intersection between technology and medicine. And this intersection is meant to increase the effectiveness of healthcare delivery. So if you see in this diagram, digital health actually offers a new model of care. Now, patients can actually take an active role in monitoring their own well-being as well as maintaining their health, because now monitoring is easier than ever. We can use wearable devices to track our activity and our health. Then the data can be transferred to mobile devices, which will then notify what should we do to maintain our health. Then those data will be sent to cloud services, which can be accessed in laptops and computers, not only by patients, but also by clinicians who are in charge of the patients. So now the data gained from digital health can be a part of decision-making of clinicians. And so that way, digital health is really the future of healthcare. However, there is one problem, and that is most of the time, doctors and clinicians are not included in designing new apps, new systems, which can help in making the healthcare delivery better. This is a problem because we as clinicians, as doctors, we are the one who really knows what patients need. And we are also the one who are really in the system. And so we actually need to take an active role in designing the future of our own system. Next slide, please. And so this is where Hackathon comes in. Hackathon, to speak broadly, is an event which encourages creative problem solving. So Hackathon is a platform in which the participants are asked to come up with a solution to a certain problem, usually in limited time frame. So there will be a hackathon by AMSA this August, and yeah, I hope that you will attend because yeah, as I've said before, hackathon and digital health is an important part for us as clinicians to actually change the course of healthcare to make it better. And yeah, by attending a hackathon, we actually got a stage to creatively solve problems we may encounter as physicians. And yeah, so if you see at the right side of the screen, there is this life cycle of a hackathon, which is ideate, collaborate, design, rapid prototype, test, iterate, and pitch. I will tell a bit about how to do it. So in ideation, what you need to do is to consider two things, problem and also solution. You need to ensure that you are solving a relevant problem, a big problem, and you also need to ensure that your solution is relevant in solving the problem, because we want our solution to be sustainable. And in order for it to be sustainable, we need to ensure that people would want to use it. That way, we will be able to get funding, and yeah, we will be able to grow as a startup and as a solution. The second one is to collaborate, and I think this is very fun. And yeah, I think this is one of the spirit of AMSA. So by collaborating, actually, it is important to also consider collaborating with people from multidiscipline. So not only medical students, but also maybe people from technology, business, etc. But even if you are only teaming up with medical students, it's okay, because we can always ask for help from our colleagues and friends with other expertise. And the next one is design and prototyping. So in this process, you will the participants are asked to make a proof of concept on how their solution would work. So for example, if you're making an app, then you need to mention what features you want to put in there and why the feature is relevant in solving the problem, etc. And so this, ideally in this step, you need to develop a prototype, like you need to illustrate the user experience. But even if you don't, just be sure to, if you're interested in attending a hackathon, just be sure to explain how exactly your solution and your features will help in solving a problem. And there will also be test and iterate. So in this one, you will need to ask for feedbacks to your target market. And with that, you will be getting reviews and feedbacks from which you will be able to get your solution grow to be better. And lastly, there's pitching. Pitching is like presentation, so it's usually only 3 to 5 minutes. So yeah, it's quite challenging because of the limited time. But at the same time, if we can't convince people that our idea is great with only 3 minutes, then yeah, it will be harder to convince people with longer time. So be sure to include just everything that you think is the most important in the pitch session. Next slide, please. So yeah, I will start with why hackathon before going to my experience. Actually, my thought was I was always interested in being a social entrepreneur. That is someone who help people with a business. And yeah, this is what happens with many of the startup that was formed during a hackathon. I compiled here some startups. The first one is GroupMe. GroupMe is formed in 2010 in a hackathon, and it went on to be able to gain 10.8 million US dollars in funding. And only 1 year later, it was acquired by Skype for 80 million US dollars. Yeah, so that's a lot of money, but yeah, they are also helping, and that's why they are able to be acquired by such a big company. The next one is Eyewear and Zapier. They are also able to get significant funding, but the Eyewear is special in this occasion because it was formed in a healthcare hackathon. And lastly, there is Easy Taxi. It was formed in a Brazilian hackathon, but then now it has offered services to over 30 countries and 430 cities. It's amazing just how something that starts so small can actually impact so many people around the world. So Easy Taxi is actually like Uber, but now they are targeting more in Africa. So once again, hackathon can be your startup's first step, and it can impact so many people, and while ensuring your own well-being, because yeah, you get money, you succeed, so it's like a win-win solution for everyone actually. Next. One more thing is that hackathon is actually revolutionizing healthcare. So yeah, if you are interested in changing our system, our healthcare delivery system, then what you can do is joining a hackathon. Because yeah, if you search at PubMed, there are actually already several studies about hackathons, but here I put one of the most interesting ones. So if you can see here, hackathon has led to many patents of innovations, and also for the teams formed during the hackathon to gain significant funding. And so hackathon is a place where you meet like-minded people, ideate with them, but it doesn't stop there. You got the opportunity to actually build the implementation plan, meet the right network, and actually make your idea to life. So that's what's so special about hackathon, and that's why we as medical professionals need to also take part in the hackathon. Next, please. And so here's my story. Yeah, so this is my winning team. But before, I attended 9 hackathons before actually winning on this MIT COVID-19 challenge. And I will share about why I keep attending later. But yeah, so my team in the MIT COVID-19 Challenge Latin America versus COVID-19 proposed an app called Amigo. So our team comprises of people from multidisciplinary, from technology, business to medical aspect. And yeah, we are a team from all over the world, and we don't know each other at first. We only know each other during the time of the hackathon. But so it's amazing to be able to come up with a solution with people I don't know before. Next. So yeah, here's a bit about our product. So yeah, basically we're making a chatbot API. So it's like an add-on to SMS. And the reason we are making this is because there are significant decrease in patient visit to clinics since COVID-19 because they are afraid to get infected by COVID-19. And if this happens with chronic patients, the outcome can be fatal. And so this is what we are trying to solve. Actually, this can be done by telemedicine app, but in Latin America, most of the people lack access to internet. So it reaches almost 50%. So we try to propose another way, that is to offer telemedicine using SMS. Yeah, next, please. So from my 10 experience, actually, I got so many things, especially for me, because I always aspire to be a social entrepreneur. So by attending hackathons, I meet new people and I got new experience to finally know how should my solution be presented, how should I ideate and innovate that it is appealing to judges and investors. So the first one is to consider the impact, just how widespread is the impact of my solution, what problem I am trying to solve, and how big is the target population. For example, diabetes, there are a lot of people with diabetes, so yeah, the impact is quite big. Next, please. The next one is innovation. We need to also convince the judges why our solution would work, why our solution is the right one, how do we compare and compete with the existing solution. And yeah, so competitor analysis is always important. Next, please. And there is also implementation. So I need to think whether our solution is actually feasible, because, well, I think this is quite tricky for us since we are medical professionals. We may not be too familiar with technology. So yeah, while ideating and innovating, we also need to consider whether our solution is feasible to be done now with the currently available technology. Or yeah, even if your solution is not about technology, then yeah, you just need to ensure that it is feasible with the current condition. And they also need to be sustainable. Yeah, because we don't want to be another startup which just went on for several months, but then dies because it don't have enough funding. So yeah, it needs to be sustainable. It needs to have significant user traction, etc. Next. And lastly, it needs to have an effective presentation. So there will be time limit. Use the time limit maximally and make sure you're able to speak your points. Just highlight the most important ones. Next, please. So this is what I experienced during my time doing those hackathons. Actually, I do 10 hackathon in 3 months. So yeah, almost every weekend I attended one hackathon, and to keep losing every time feels bad. It feels so, yeah, I feel so devastated. During my 6th hackathon, I feel like I don't want to do it anymore. But then I realized that, yeah, losing does not mean my idea is bad. Losing just means that maybe the idea or the prototype just is not that ready yet. So I should always keep looking for room of improvement. I always need to look for feedbacks, and that process of losing actually make not only the idea grow, but me as a person grow as well. So because I keep learning on how to face losing something, and yeah, so it's an amazing experience, even if losing and winning. When I finally experience winning, I also realized that winning hackathon does not mean that our idea will succeed, because after the hackathon, the time frame is just it's up to us. So it's up to us to pursue our idea, to make it come to life, or to just leave the idea and do nothing. It's really and totally up to us. So because no one in the startup world is pressuring you to do so. No one in the startup world is guiding you, well, except if you have mentors, which I highly recommend. But yeah, you need to have the strong determination to actually make your idea come true. So yeah, always look for room of improvement on your idea. So the other points I also got from a hackathon is that winning should not be our main goal. I think this works not only for hackathons, but for everything we do, every opportunity we take. Because like hackathon, as our every other opportunity, is a platform to learn and network. We learn how to be tougher every time we lose. We learn how to actually present our idea better. We learn how to connect with different people better, because like in hackathons, usually we don't know each other before, and we are forced to be in a team collaborating with each other despite the language and cultural barriers. So it's just amazing. So what do we need to keep in mind is that every opportunity is a place for us to learn, to grow, and to network. And just in the right time, we will get to winning. We will get to win, and we will be able to succeed just in the right time. Next, please. And so, yeah, this is my closing statement. This is actually a quote I find in Google. But yeah, I think this is a really important point in innovation. So Diane Kamen said that every once in a while, a new technology, an old problem, and a big idea turn into an innovation. So you don't need, when you are ideating, you don't need to force yourself to solve a new problem. Sometimes there are a lot of old problems with existing solution that needs new solution that is more effective and more efficient. And so, yeah, my take-home message is to keep curious, keep looking at your surroundings, keep innovating, and let's change the world together. Thank you.
Great, amazing sharing session from Adriana. Yeah, it's inspiring and also wonderful to hear from you, Adriana, to share about hackathons and how you inspire people. I hope that everyone is going to join the hackathons. I hope so, right, attendees? So let's continue to the questions and answer session. So we have one question from Steven from AMSA Indonesia. What make you so sure that digital health will be empowered among doctors? Note that platforms such as HelloDoc in my place isn't much supported.
Okay, so thank you for the question. I think this is actually quite tricky because in order for digital health to be supported, doctors and physicians should realize that digital health is not there to replace them. Digital health is there to help them, and that we need to embrace the help because it will make our healthcare delivery be better. For example, during this pandemic, I believe that we actually see just how important telemedicine is, because like people who are not able to go to hospitals because their condition are not emergency, now they can actually have a sufficient healthcare, even not as of course it's not as best as if we actually tend the patient, but at least there are some care to them. And this is especially important in rural areas. We may not be able to feel it always because, well, some of us are living in big cities. But yeah, with this COVID-19 pandemic, I think many of us is starting to realize just how important digital health is, at least for the healthcare of the rural communities. So yeah, I believe that I agree with Stephen that the platform digital health is not that supported yet by the doctors and clinicians, but just with the right information and evidence, I believe that doctors and physicians will at last be able to accept that digital health is a part of them, and that only then our healthcare delivery will be a lot better, because it can actually transcend a digital healthcare delivery to a place, to a point that we didn't or have never imagined before.
Okay, amazing answer, Adriana. So we proceed to the next question from Reskita from Indonesia. How is your way to reach people? For example, some people in Indonesia still choose witch doctor, or we known as dukun, rather than modern medicine, because I'm pretty sure you want to reach all people.
I think for this one is more about a rooting problem, like another problem arising within our community rather than digital health itself. Because I think there are several issues that cause this. Maybe the patients are not happy with how the doctors treat them, etc. So I believe that in order to ensure that patients embrace the healthcare system, we need to be more friendly. Well, I don't think that's the right word, but I hope you get the meaning. And also, we also need to ensure that we socialize and educate people about why and what is the difference between witch doctor and the modern medicine. And then there is also a problem with this because, well, even if they understand that doctors and modern medicine is important and is better than dukun, then maybe some of them will think that digital health is similar to witch doctor because, well, you don't meet the doctors. And even more if they know that some of the digital health is done by robots, not robots actually, but like technology, so not real doctors. So after ensuring that people, especially in rural areas, understand that modern medicine is better than witch doctor, then our next homework is to ensure that they understand the differences between witch doctor and also technology, because technology is trained by doctors, but that's not the case with witch doctors. So I believe that education will help digital health and also modern medicine as a whole reach more people.
Okay, great. One more last question from Malaysia, from Jing Liu. So, what makes you so inspired in joining Hackathon?
Okay, thank you for the question. So, the reason is because I've always been interested in social entrepreneurship. I want to help people, but I want to help it in my own way. And I've been interested in technology since I haven't been into medicine yet. So I believe that by combining these two, I will be able to help people in my own way, in a way that can actually impact a lot. Because, well, with digital health, we can impact a lot of people because, now people use many smartphones and many people are already connected to internet, etc. So, I want to help in my own way, basically. And after joining a hackathon, I feel that it is an eye-opening event because I meet new people. I get to interact with investors, mentors. Some of my friends and in my own startup is 30 years older than me. And so it's just eye-opening to meet these new people and to collaborate in helping the healthcare system.
Okay. Thank you so much, Adriana, for your incredible answers. And I'm so sorry, attendees, if you have more questions, I think you can direct message Adriana. Is that okay? Yeah, sure. So, Adriana, there's one more question that you can answer through direct message. Okay. Are you going to join the whole session later on?
Yes, I will.
Okay, great. So, Adriana, thank you so much for your time and for your stories and stuff. Yeah, we would like to see you again real soon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you so much, Adriana. You are amazing. Thank you.
Okay, I'll hand over to Marjorie for the next session.
Okay. Hi. I hope that all of you are still alive. Okay. So.
Yes, I am.
Dr. Devi is still alive. Yeah.
Okay. So next we will have Dr. Vito. Can we go to the slide? Okay, so Dr. Vito, he will be talking about physicians without a white coat. So we will invite him to the stage first. Okay, never mind. While we wait for Dr. Vito, I will introduce him to the floor. Dr. Vito Damay is a family man, an interventional cardiologist who believes that prevention is the best intervention. He is also a TV presenter, a spokesperson who learned from everyone. Okay, so Dr. Devi, would you like to add on for Dr. Vito?
Okay, so Dr. Vito does a lot of Instagram postings, and he sings very well. He's playing music very well, and he's a TV presenter. He's a public figure in Indonesia. So it's a great pleasure for us to be able to invite Dr. Vito into our event. Such a proud thing to have you here, Dr. Vito.
Hi everyone, this marvelous introduction from Dr. Devi, yeah, my old long inspirational friend and my senior actually.
Yes.
So glad to see you all here. But yeah, I think all the people in this AMSA is absolutely inspirational in their own way. And then I know a lot of people in AMSA since a lot of long time ago, and then they become very good doctor now. I mean, they're really not an average doctor, and I'm sure that all of you here is a lot of maybe higher than average doctors. Well, even medical students, I mean, as well.
Absolutely.
So, okay, so well, actually, I want to share some of my thoughts about doctors nowadays, and I get some thought that maybe we are not really a typical doctor here. I mean, in AMSA, you do a lot of things, not just sitting in your own class, and then it's not about attending all the lecture, and then you become what you want to become. And then I think it's better to make this my sharing tonight is a physician without a white coat. It means literally we are now maybe rarely wearing our white coat again, just like mine, because in pandemic we are now changing our behavior in hospital. Also, we have to adapt in our new normal situation. No more white coat, I think. What about you guys? I mean, in another country, do you have new adaptation to the new normal era? No white coat again?
Well, We haven't gone back to school, so I can't comment from Malaysia. Maybe someone else from another country would like to
Yeah, yeah.
hear the audience.
I really want to
Mm.
know. I really want to know.
Yes, audience, please feel free to raise hands.
We will only be starting in September here in Malaysia for my university.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because here in Indonesia, it's very difficult to see a physician with white coat. Yeah, after pandemic, no more white coat. So I think
Yeah.
we are still physician without our white coat. Yeah, so it may be a little bit weird at the very first time we do that. We do practice without white coat. So, but I think that's the essence of being physician. I mean, it's not about our wardrobe. It's not about our title. It's not just about our certification. I mean, physician is maybe our our path of life. So I wanna share you what I mean by that. Mm, how to go to the next slide? I don't know. Okay. So yeah. By the way, it's very cool platform. So because literally I can interact with the audience. Thank you. And then so in AMSA we learn to meet another students, not just in our class, and it's helped me a lot to learn from everyone I met. I hope you guys do the same. And then we are still maybe we are still imagining ourselves in front of the lecture, even in this virtual era. And then when I was in medical school, I'm very excited. I'm always in the front row, not because I am I don't know, but I think the moment in class is the precious moment that I could learn without 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 even opening the book. Because when you open the book, yeah, you have to learn by yourself, and I think it's difficult actually. So I really want to sit in the front row to get the explanation from our lecturer. And then we know that the after this new adaptation, even for medical student, even for lecturer like me, I have to adapt for that new normal situation. And then yeah, it's become a little bit, not a little bit, but it's become so different. Let's go for the next slide. So becoming a doctor is not just like your title. Yeah, maybe it's a title. It's make you easier to have a girlfriend or boyfriend, I think. What do you think? When we are in medical school, I remember that whenever you enter the room, and then there is maybe a lot of people from another major. And then when you say that I'm from medical school, and then they will say that, whoa, 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 that's marvelous. You're a doctor soon to be. Wow, that's easier for us to have new friends. And then they are tend to believe us that you're a good guy. It must be because you're future doctors. But I realized that it's actually not just like that, because being a doctor is a responsibility. Just like one of the famous people, one of the famous person, maybe you know him also. Um, he said that with the great power came the great responsibility. You know that? Yeah, that's not a doctor. He is Spider-Man. But I think we can relate that, because I remember when I was in my intern in my clerkship. At the first day, I wearing that white coat. I became so proud of myself actually. And then I looking at my at on the mirror, and then I think that, whoa, you're very cool. You're a doctor now. Although you are in the clerkship, but you're a doctor. But just an hour after that, I was in emergency room, in front of emergency room, and then there was a patient came with severe dislocation, severe injury because of traffic accident. And then at that time, I remember that I just like looking at him, and then I thought to myself, what shall I do now? That's at the moment it's like a turn point in myself that I realized that it's not just your white coat make you a doctor, but your skill, your knowledge, your attitude, and whatever you do after that, after you got your Hippocratic oath, your oath, it's that the moment you become a doctor, and then it's not just a title, it's your responsibility. So let's go to the next slide. In this pandemic era, physicians have a challenge, but they also have a stage to like become a center of attention of other people. It's actually not a good one. I mean, it is not your goal. I mean, it is not a good one if you cannot make it the good reason for your patient to make it a better place. I mean, if you are a doctor, and then now in the pandemic era, you're like people all turn around and then turn their head to you, and then they say that you are a doctor and then you are the hero. It's actually I I don't really totally agree with that. I mean, because we are a hero, yes, but we actually have to do more than that, because when we are a doctor and then we are just waiting in the hospital, maybe it's not enough, because being a doctor is to maintain people, to get the people still healthy, and then to educate people. Just like my senior, Dr. Davy, she get very passionate with autism, and then she even have her own clinic. And then she went to Latin America, to Europe to do that. So Dr. Davy, I still remember when we met just a couple months ago, I think, and then yeah. Of it, it's actually it's just a moment before we have lockdown in
On
our
March, yes.
yeah, and then we talk really long. I mean, if the mall not close up, maybe we don't finish talk at that time.
Yes.
So so you show me that you're very passionate about what you're doing. I mean, you have brainworks, and then I remember that I have one of my student have trouble with I cannot tell
Yeah, you
you.
want to refer me someone, yes.
Yeah, but I refer it to Dr. Davy, and then Dr. Davy, whoa, you're very helpful for that. And then you even give your phone numbers, and then, well, I really appreciate that. Even their parents say that my regards for Dr. Davy, and then they are very. I don't know if they contact you or not, but
Oh, they haven't, but I'm very happy if they would.
Yeah. And then you know what, the person now is still struggling to graduate, but yeah, you're very helpful for it, because you show that you want to help, and he's not alone.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that is a good example how a doctor not really just waiting for, in the football you're just waiting for assist, but you make assist, you make assistance, you're not waiting for the patient to ask for help, but you help the patient to help them to get your help. You got and then I think that is very good example for what doctors should be. Yeah, Dr. Davy, can you
Yes.
maybe share to the audience, what do you think when you are become a doctor now, and then you are not really work in a hospital, but you are actually among the people, you are actually among the people who need you maybe, but
Yes.
you are reach them. Maybe you can share a little bit about that.
I don't need to be in a specific space to be
Yeah.
able to help people.
Yeah.
I am happy. The thing about being doctor is about the knowledge and the heart. And we have something that we can do to help them. There was a time when I don't even have my own clinic, but yet I was very open to help anyone who needs my help. And I just want to just a little thing to connect your talk to Dr. Rudy's talk. Dr. Rudy talked about traveling, and people were asking how to travel when they don't have money. Do you know when I didn't have money, I travel with patients to different places because I offered myself to be their personal physician when they travel.
Oh,
It's
cool.
crazy, right? But it's possible. And I used that time when I was being paid during my travel to go and find knowledge. So I was half sponsored when I was actually learning. So we always can find passion and work come together if we have that heart to want to help people.
Okay, yeah, yeah. We can highlight that. So when you being a doctor, it's actually we talk about your heart. So it's not about just your brain still there. I mean, so because when we were in medical students, when we was medical students, I think maybe a lot of people think that their scores, their scores when they do in the exam, what they do, it's really important. I mean, to get a good score. I mean, when you get A or something like that. Well, it's really important to do your best when you go for exam. But I think it's more than that. I mean, it's your progress. I really appreciate when one of my students in the group in problem-based learning in the tutorial group, and then I see their progress every week, and then later one student that really textbook minded, and then they not maybe appreciate their friends who want to give an opinion. So I think because being a doctor is not like you can mention all the disease in the book, but it's actually about your passion, your heart, your attitude toward the people. So in my opinion, when you talk about the good doctor, what is the good doctor? Not just like you expert in your field and in your skill, but also you have heart for your patient, just like Dr. David told us just before. So we can go for the next slide. Um, in this COVID era, I think this is a very good opportunity to give all we can do as a doctor, because here when telemedicine become more prominent than before, many of my fellow doctors go for telemedicine also, and then they give education, they give consultation in telemedicine, and then when they ask me, uh, what are you doing in television? I mean, it's not really part of doctors. You become a celebrity. I don't think so, because I think actually I do part of doctors do. Actually, maybe I help what my friends now. Maybe they can't do that. I mean, maybe they don't want to do it because they have another concern. So many of our doctors, being a scientist, they become practitioners and grad practitioners, and maybe they need assist to educate the patient to still healthy, or to more care about their health, and then I actually provide them, I assist them for that. So I spend my time that I have to actually I need a rest also, but the the time I for my family, the time for maybe for myself, I do that to educate people through the channel, through the social media, through the television, and then I think maybe it's one of the one thing that I could contribute with. And then many of my friends also have the contribution in and not not conventional manner of doctor. So they become a real scientist, and then they're not get into the practice again, really not in the hospital, and then their Whitecoat is actually in the research. And then I have one of my friends actually. He is AMSA also, and then maybe he's speaking the another day. I don't know. Gregoris Bimantoro. He's one of the CEO of ProSehat, one of the most prominent health application in Indonesia.
He will be our speaker on the third day.
Okay, you have to
Awesome.
him. You have to learn from him. You guys. He may be not a typical doctor. Maybe if our parents hear about Dr. Bimantoro is the CEO of ProSehat, what are they doing? I mean, he go to medical school and then he now become a CEO of application. But I think that's the smartest thing he got to do, because I think not too many. Maybe we can count people as a doctor who have skill with it, like Dr. Gregoris. Because Dr. Bimo, I think, very smart, because as a doctor, he got his knowledge being a physician, but he also has a skill and knowledge to become innovator in health application. And so I think it's very rare combination. So he really compassionate about what they doing. So you have to learn about that. You have to learn from him in the third day, yeah, Dr. Devi?
Yes, on the third day, it's going to be on the 22nd of August.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
And then I have also friends who want to be army doctor. So actually, physically, I can say that you actually, you gonna you if you become an army, I will not surprised. But I really surprised when he really got into the army training, and then he now become an army. He is now a lieutenant. I don't know whether if you guys you have a thought to be in an army also. I mean, yeah, it's not typical for doctor, and then maybe your parents will think that it's very different. It's very different value the profession. But I think the army will need you as a doctor also. We go to the next slide again. And now, is there any of you want to be a lecturer? May I have ideas from the audience? Some of you, the host, Edward, and now Marjorie.
No.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That's what my parents say that told me when I was a fresh graduate, and then I say that I want to be a lecturer. They say that, what are you doing? When you become a doctor, you should be a great physician. You should be go for another course, and then you go for specialist. But at that time, I think that, well, it's one of my passion also to be a lecturer, because I think that to be a doctor, you need someone to teach you, right? So I think maybe it's my responsibility to do that, because I think it's my calling. So I do that. But it's okay, Marjorie, if you don't want to be a lecturer, because maybe you become someone else, and then that one that maybe I couldn't do. For example, I don't know what do you want to be, Marjorie?
Maybe a technocrat. I don't know.
Wait, I mean,
Yeah.
diplomat?
Maybe technocrat.
Oh,
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah. I mean, the important thing is you do what you're passionate. I mean, to be a doctor, I mean that's not meaning that you left out what you want to do in your life. So can you imagine how we introduce you maybe 10 years from now, Marjorie? Can you imagine?
Wow. Still so many years to go.
5 years.
I think in Malaysia it might take 15 from my age now.
Okay. So yeah, you got to think about that. Um, Thank you, Marjorie, for answering me. Yeah.
Oh,
When
I just get a vote for you. The
yeah.
vote for the people who wants to be a lecturer is yes for 35% and no for 65% of our audience.
Oh
And
yeah.
just now, when you were talking about doctors with white coat, 28% yes, they're still using white coat, 72% says no. And
Oh.
when you ask about girlfriend, is it easy to get girlfriend or boyfriend? The vote is in. No is no for 69%.
Oh yeah.
And yes for 31%. I think they are too busy to make girlfriend or boyfriend. And they attend a webinar on Saturday night.
Yeah. What my wife is also an AMSA, so I get my wife, Dr. Stella, is pathologist anatomist, and then
Yeah,
yeah, he is also
successful.
AMSA member as well. So yeah, maybe you can meet your yeah future wife here or future husband here. I don't know. Yeah, but who knows? Yeah, who knows? Who knows? The most important thing I think to being a doctor is you have your imagination of what yourself would be in the future. I mean, how people will introduce you, because being a doctor is not that flat life, but being a doctor is really extraordinary. I mean, you were really enjoying that being a doctor, and then if you want to enjoy your life, you should do whatever you have to do. How do you know? Because I believe that every person have vision that why they are being created. I mean, so I think when you become a doctor, it's not that flat. It's not that flat. It's not just like flat, yeah, like the white on your white prof. I mean, it's really colorful and it's you're really enjoying your life. So if you want to be a practitioner, even um, uh, what are you doing exactly? What are you doing? You have to be very detailed about that. And if you cannot imagine about that, so you'll very hard to reach what you want to do, and then it may be really flat life. So you remember in ECG, if it's flat, it's not life. So so make it sinus rhythm, and then well a couple PVZ extrasystole will not harm you. So yeah, it makes your life very decided. Yeah. So go to the next slide. It's very excited to share you about this. Okay. Go for the next slide. Uh, yeah, in Indonesia, we know one of the rising profession is like being a clinical nutritionist, being a sports medicine, being in nuclear medicine, and so even in when you become a physician practitioner, there is a rising expertise, and then it's actually maybe a new subspecialization, and that is big. It's really a good choice for you to explore yourself. I mean, the field is still new, and then if you want to be or yeah a prominent doctor, and then you want to explore yourself, you want to find yourself there, you will be too very compassionate in one field. Yeah, it's one of a good choice. So take a look, and then maybe you can choose one of them. Also, yeah, well, if you know, in Indonesia there is a hospital around the sea, and then it's they
Floating hospital.
yeah, floating hospital. You know about that?
Yes.
Dr. Lee Darmawan is a surgeon, and then well, actually, maybe a lot of people will think to go for retiring for that, but he's still active, and then he recruiting young doctors to go with him, and then they now have even doctors here, flying doctors. So not just floating hospital, they have flying doctors, and then one of the initiator is one of my senior from Universitas Pelita Harapan. So they go to the really, really rural area, not really remote area, but it's, you cannot reach the area without airplane, small airplane. Well, I don't think I can do that. So if you go for a vote, I will say no for that. But it's okay. But maybe because maybe it's not my capability to do that. It's not maybe my vision. I mean, another people would do that. So I think the important thing is to find what your vision in your life. Can you imagine yourself 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now? Yeah, I think you have to do. You have to try that. Tonight, you go at your desk and then you write in the blank paper. Go for anything you think that you will enjoy in your life, and then just write it down, and then you will find it after that. Yeah. Next slide. It's very excited. One of our national heroes is Abdul Rahman Saleh. Anyone in Indonesia know him? Anyone from Indonesia know him?
Of course,
No?
I know, but I will let other people to answer. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, he
Of
knows.
course you know. Yes. So yeah, I hope you know. I do hope you know, because one of my favorite book is historical books, and then Abdul Rahman Saleh is father of Indonesian physiology. He is a doctor. He was a doctor, and then the long story short, when we are fighting for our independence, we need we need we need support from another country, and then Dr. Abdul Rahman Saleh with another pilot go with their airplane with a lot of support in what do you call it, maybe food or something like that in the aeroplane, and then at that time the Dutch know that it's Indonesian airplane. They shoot him down, and then yeah, he died as a hero, Abdurrahman Saleh. But maybe not many people know, even in Indonesia, that he was a doctor, and he was a physiologist. So you can see the study of Abdurrahman Saleh in front of Universitas Indonesia, a bronze statue, I think. Yeah, Dr. Abdurrahman Saleh. Yeah, it's one of very non-typical doctor. And then this is very excited. To the next slide. If you know that how Indonesia can declare our Independence Day, a long time ago, Indonesia maybe cannot really imagine what the meaning of independence until the group of Indonesian people who go in the to medical school, they become a doctors, and they initiate like a mobilization, like they initiate an inspirational, inspirational party of people of intelligent people of Indonesia, and then they they give an inspiration to all the Indonesian people to
Well,
pursue
I think it's
independence.
a sign that we need to wrap up soon. Thank you so
Oh
much.
yeah, okay, yeah,
Yes.
it's the last slide. The last slide.
Wow. Okay, good.
Yeah, it's the last slide. So um, I really, I really get into the story about the Budi Utomo, and then these Indonesian doctors, actually the reason why Indonesian can become independent, and then I think we are as a doctor, AMSA. You know that AMSA have a tagline. No, I mean the people of the tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
so
are the people of tomorrow.
bro, yeah,
We
we
are
are.
the one who would make better change.
Yeah. So actually, we are the people of tomorrow, and then for you, doctor, the tomorrow is now. Tomorrow's already now. We sang it when we were medical students, but we are associate medical students. We are not a student now, but the tomorrow is now. So be a doctor, not just a doctor, but be a good one. How to become a good one? Use your heart. Be a doctor, not just your white coat, but it's because your attitude to compassion, your heart to the people, and to become a great doctor. It's not just your certificate. To become a doctor, it's need your mind and also your heart. Be like that. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so
much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vito. Thank you.
You're awesome. Thank you so much.
I was able to learn about Indonesia from your slides too. Thank you so much, Dr. Vito. Okay.
We have a lot of hearts for you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much. You inspire many.
And due to time constraint, we will take one question from the floor. Again, a gentle reminder, please raise your hand or utilize the question tab to let us know your question. Okay. Just one question from the floor.
Actually, what is from the floor is just say that you are so amazing.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you. It's inspiring from Dr. Katarina.
Yes, and a smiley face from Dr. Oh, there is a question. Yes, we have one now. So this question is from Leon Fun. He's from Malaysia. So he's asking, how do you manage the time to do such amazing feats?
whoa. Thank you for mentioning that. It's amazing. Well, actually, the key is collaboration. This is the era of not for competition, but for collaboration. I have my teammate. I have my fellow doctors. Um, for example, for my um, job as a interventional cardiologist, I have a group of cardiologists. Also, two of them is actually a member of AMSA, and then I recruit them because I knew him and her very much when we were in AMSA. Even we are not in the same university, so it's because AMSA connection. And then
Yay!
I have Dr. Michael Tanaka, cardiologist, and also Indah Sukmawati, cardiologist, in my hospital, and then we work so well. So, for example, when we got for on call, and then tomorrow is a holiday, we got shift for go for a holiday without any restriction. I mean, we're not really think about how about the patient. If the patient go for Michael Tanaka, and then after that I will lose my patient. We are not thinking about that. So we do the job very smoothly. So the patient will have attending cardiologist every day, even if it's not me. So maybe another day visit from Michael Tanaka, and maybe one for the real example is I got a patient 2 days ago. At that time, the on-call cardiologist is Dr. Michael Tanaka, and then she got a patient, and then she answered from the phone. And then tomorrow morning, my another friend, cardiologist, will visit the patient. And in the afternoon, they say that the patient have a bad progression, and then the patient will need intervention. I mean, will need PCI, percutaneous coronary intervention, and then he consult me, and then I will come. The day after tomorrow, the patient will need echocardiography, and Dr. Michael Tanaka will do that again. So you can see that in the group, even we talk about the patient, and the patient will have actually 4 cardiologists at that day, minus the patient. So it's the beautiful thing about the collaboration, and then they want that one of the reason that I can do another thing outside of the hospital, do education, do writing a book. I mean, yeah, because we get a good collaboration with that. So the reason and the secret to do more actually is to share more.
Agree. Awesome.
Okay. Thank you so much, Doctor. Yes, Dr. DP, do you want to say something just now?
Oh no, I'm just saying thank you so much for yeah, and it's amazing to have you, and we really hope to have your presence with us the next 2 more days to come. Even when you just come for a day or for half a day or just a few hours, it will be wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Vito.